Leinster get the win over Ulster in Ulster. 29 points for Leinster, 21 points for Ulster. A very good win for Leinster. They did not choose their strongest team for this game. Yes, they had a few international guys like Hugo Keenan, James Ryan, Kieran Frawley, and some really good players. But overall, Ulster went into this game as the stronger team. Definitely the favourite to win this game. And to be honest, this was a very good win for Leinster, but also a really disappointing loss for Ulster. The way Ulster started this game in the first half, they just looked so disjointed. They had a really slow start, and they just allowed Leinster to really just build up a lead that they honestly couldn't chase. At one point, it did look like Ulster was coming back, which was really exciting to see in the second half, but it was just too far to go. I mean, 29 points like that, you had to do something really miraculous, and to be honest, this Ulster team tonight just didn't pitch up the way they normally could. Honestly, before this game did happen, I did my preview and predictions, and I honestly thought Ulster was going to win this game. I did predict that Ulster would win, but seeing how the game played out, I was not surprised with how the score ended up. Ulster started a bit flat, they just weren't up for it, and the whole first half just seemed like Leinster putting the pressure on Ulster, and Ulster just couldn't handle it. I mean, they were disjointed, they made some silly mistakes, silly missed tackles, they just weren't in the game at all. And then, to be honest, at the end of the game, Werner Kok making some pretty silly decisions. I mean, when it comes to discipline, just unnecessary stuff. And I think Ulster, honestly, as a team today, just didn't pitch up to the best of their ability. They could have avoided a lot of the mistakes they did make. They could have had a much better game today. It could have been a much different game for them if they just started off stronger and just fixed a few little mistakes. But it's still a very good win. All credit has to go to Leinster. A really good win for them without their strongest team as well. So a really big win for Leinster. And honestly, this might have a big role to play in how the rest of the tournament goes and how the rest of the games go for this Leinster team, because Leinster is pushing for that Champions Cup win to try win the tournament. I don't think for the next few games of the actual normal season, of the regular season, that Leinster will play their strongest team. I don't think they will. I think the strongest team will play in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals, and if they do make the finals, the finals. But right now, with the team like they have right now, they can beat Ulster away from home. They can probably beat most teams in this competition now with the squad they selected today. It was a very good squad, a very strong squad. Not their strongest, but they played some very good rugby. And to be honest, all credit has to go for Leinster for how they played, the pressure they put on Ulster, the way they came out in the first half firing. Obviously, a much better second half from Ulster, where they kind of kicked into a gear a bit. The crowd got behind them. But seeing the crowd so quiet in the first half because of the way Leinster was playing was actually quite shocking to see. I mean, it kind of looked like an older kind of Ulster team, you'd say, like back in the day or a few years ago, where they just weren't up to the standard they are now. And this Ulster team really did not play to the standard we expect from them. So a very disappointing performance for Ulster, a very good performance for Leinster. But just looking at some of the attacking profile things here, where Leinster and Ulster did make a bit of a difference, Ulster got a lot more line breaks. They were quite close in the 22-meter conversion, the amount of points they got on average per entry. 22-meter entries as well, they were very close. Carries, Leinster had a few more carries, a few more kicks, but where Leinster really got the better of Ulster, if you had to compare their stats, was the post-contact meters. Leinster really had a lot more post-contact meters. Ulster only had 80 post-contact meters, and Leinster, away from home at Ulster, had 212 post-contact meters. First of all, 80 post-contact meters for Ulster is not acceptable. I mean, the way they played today, it just seemed like a lot of the players weren't up for it. They weren't physically up for it. They got physically dominated in the first half as well. And yes, they made a very good comeback in the second half, but it was way too little too late. And to be honest, this Leinster team today, you can just see the way they pitched up, having way more carries. They kicked a bit better today as well. They were better with the ball in hand when they got the opportunities. And 212 post-contact meters compared to 80 is a big amount. I mean, if you think of that difference, playing at home, allowing a team to really dominate you like that is very unacceptable. So this Ulster team can definitely fix this going forward. It's not something where it's like the end of the world now. Ulster have no chance to win the season. That's not the case. Ulster still is probably one of my favorites still. I still think they can still go and win this tournament. They have what it takes. They have the squad to go far in this tournament, at least the semi-final, I think. Honestly, if this Ulster team don't make it to at least the semi-final, it will be a disappointing season for them. Just looking at the defensive profile as well to see where Leinster maybe got the better of Ulster when it comes to the defensive side of things. Ulster allowed 9 offloads and Leinster only allowed 5. These 4 offloads could have been game-changing. It could have been where a try was scored. It could have been where there was more of an opportunity, a line break, keeping the ball alive, allowing the team to get some advantage, some meters, which could have led to points and tries to be scored. So they got to honestly have to fix that going forward. Leinster made more dominant tackles than Ulster, only by 1, but they still made more dominant tackles. Normally for a team at home, the home teams normally, especially at this kind of caliber of rugby, the home teams normally getting more post-contact meters. They're not allowing that many offloads. They're getting more dominant tackles. But today, today Leinster played, and all the stats played as if all the stats for Leinster kind of showed that they played like the home team, which is crazy to see because Leinster is a good team away from home. But Leinster did definitely not play their strongest team today, and Ulster did 100% play their full strength team. Now, obviously, there's a few guys that are battered and bruised. I mean, seeing Tom O'Toole on the side like that and Angus Bell was sad to see because they're very good players. Angus Bell's a very key player for this team, and Tom O'Toole is one of the guys I like, probably one of the most in the Ireland team right now. He's really stepped up, so that could be two crucial losses for them. Hopefully, honestly, hopefully they do make it to the playoffs. Hopefully they're not out long term, because that would be really unfortunate for this Ulster team right now. But yeah, I mean, this Ulster team just played as if they were their away team. I mean, they kind of let Leinster run at them. They didn't try physically dominate them. Even if they did, it didn't work out for them today. So honestly, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what they can do to maybe get the best out of themselves in the game. It could just be a one-off bad performance, but you still don't want to see those performances from an Ulster perspective. But from a Leinster fan's perspective, it was a phenomenal game for them. I mean, they were dominant all over the field, more post-contact meters, playing good rugby, applying the pressure. I thought Leinster did really well with their kicks to kind of pin Ulster back. When it came to possession and territory, Leinster completely dominated Ulster in the first half. It just looked like Leinster was the only one playing rugby in the first half, and Ulster was just letting them run at them and letting them do what they want. So going forward, Ulster, especially at home, they have to start strong, especially against a team like Leinster that wants to come out firing. If you stop them in the first 30 minutes, you have a fighting chance. But if you let them just do what they want and play the normal way they play in the first 30 minutes, they are going to build a big buffer on the scoreboard, and we saw that today. But looking at some of the key performances from this game, Sam Prendergast with 14 points, Zach Ward, who had a pretty good game today with 2 tries, James Culhane with 16 carries, David McCann with 21 tackles, Luke McGrath with 87 successful passes, Jacob Stockdale with 8 defenders beaten. I thought Jacob Stockdale was quite good today. I mean, maybe one of the only guys from Ulster side that actually looked like he wanted to be there today. Turnovers 1, Jude Postlewaite with 2 turnovers 1, and Bryn Ward with 2 line breaks. Looking at some of the other stats here when it comes to carries, Robbie Henshaw, the second most carries with 13 carries. Jacob Stockdale had the most carries for Ulster with 12. So Jacob Stockdale was trying his best today, was all over. Nathan Doak with the most kicks in the game with 13, but he really wasn't that accurate with his box kicks today. Normally he's extremely accurate. Normally I kind of give him his praise for being such an accurate box kicker, but today he just seemed a little bit off. I know the whole team seemed a bit off. Like the decision making was a bit off. It just seemed like a bit slower, but nobody was on the same page. It was less cohesion, whereas Leinster today were all on the same page. They were playing, probably they were all trying to play for a spot in the team going forward. You could see that today. It kind of felt like the Ulster guys played rugby as if they were comfortable today. So that's definitely one thing I did realize. Looking at some of the other stats that happened in this game, Jacob Stockdale with 8 defenders beaten, Sam Prendergast with 4, James Culhane with 4 as well. And looking at the defensive side of things, you could see that Ulster were made to tackle a lot today. David McCann with the most tackles with 23, tied for second, Jean Augustus and Sam Crean with 21 tackles each. Jacob Stockdale with 3 missed tackles complete, David McCann 21, and obviously Jean Augustus and Sam Crean completing 21 tackles. Dominant tackles, Jean Augustus with 1. The only dominant tackle for Ulster today was Jean Augustus with 1 tackle, which is actually quite a crazy stat to see. Turnovers 1, Jude Postlewaite 2, Thomas Clarkson 2, and Scott Penny 2. So overall, you can just see, even in the individual stats, Leinster was still dominating the game today. It just seemed like a really lackluster Ulster performance, but what does this mean for them going forward? Honestly, not much. They still have a really good chance of getting a home quarterfinal, which could potentially lead to a home semi-final. And if Ulster do get the home quarterfinal and home semi-final, I do back them to win those games. They're a very high quality team. I think they can go far in this competition, but if they do lose their 2 props, that could be quite costly for them. And if they keep playing like the way they played tonight, with ill discipline, no cohesion, such disjointed kind of decision making, disjointed on defense, just looking disjointed everywhere, then this team's not going to get far. But hopefully it's just a one game kind of slump. Hopefully it's not a thing we've seen with the Stormers now, where they just go into a slump for a whole bunch of games. I don't think it's going to be that. I think this Ulster team has the quality. They showed it in the second half as well. It was too little too late. And this Leinster team, I mean, Leinster right now is playing good rugby. They are trending up at the right time. I've said this before, even the first team for Leinster with all their strongest players right now, they're trending up at the right time. The whole season we've been talking about Leinster being not at their best, not as clinical as they should be, not as ruthless as they should be. Tonight they were ruthless. I mean, in that first half, the way they played was absolutely ruthless. They absolutely dominated Ulster in the first half in Ulster, which is quite a tough place to go play nowadays. I even said it's becoming a bit of a cauldron to go play in Ulster. I mean, the crowd was right behind them. I do feel sorry for the people that were at the game expecting Ulster to really pitch up in the first half. The second half was a much better second half from Ulster. If they started that way, it would have been a completely different game, and I think Ulster would have won, because Ulster, when it comes to the team sheet, looked like the better team, but Leinster on the day just played such better rugby. So you have to give credit to Leinster. They are playing like the best team right now from the Irish provinces. They probably deserve the Irish Shield. I mean, after this game, they definitely do, not playing their strongest team and getting a win like that against a very good Ulster team. But I mean, Ulster still has time to bounce back. There's a few rounds left. I think there's 2 or 3 rounds left of the tournament where they can just kind of build a bit more momentum right now. So I think Ulster right now, they should just be pushing for that home quarter final spot, but they shouldn't try to be there already. They should take it one game at a time, kind of fix their play, kind of fix some of the little cracks in their game right now, because it has been showing in small amounts, and today it did show a lot more in the first half. But I do back this Ulster team to go quite far. I don't actually support Ulster, I'm a neutral, but I just really like the way they've been playing this year. But for Leinster, a lot of players put up their hand, a lot of players played some good rugby, and the one thing with Leinster that I always enjoy watching, they're always on the same page, they're never disjointed, there's always such a cohesion in the team. So Leinster with a very big performance, all the Leinster fans should be very happy. But if you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support, and I'll be doing a lot more match reactions coming soon. If you are an Ireland fan, stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more Ireland content coming out. South Africa, Ireland, Scotland, all the international teams. There's going to be a series coming out doing who is the strongest of all these teams, and a bit of a power rankings for the kind of positional rankings within the team. So if you do enjoy that, stick around and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.